First of all, thank you for meeting with us today, Ms. Robinson. And I'm going to say Trustee Robinson. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Okay,
Yeah.
you guys are on the Dean's List. We're out in the field today. Of course, this is voting time, guys. It's time for everybody to wake up and do their civic duties. We're here in Robbins today, and we're meeting with Trustee Robinson, and we want to talk with her about her becoming the mayor of Robbins, Illinois.
Let's do this.
Let's do this. Now, first of all, how long have you been trustee out here?
I've been trustee for 4 years, so specifically April the 6th will make 4 years.
4 years?
Yes.
Wow. Now, guys, we're actually in front of the home that she grew up in Robbins. This is your grandmother's home?
Yes, my grandparents, Mr. and Mrs. Willie Robinson Sr.
Okay. Now, you guys still own the home?
Yes.
Okay. Now, she has family members in the house, but we wanted to talk with her, and she wanted to be out in the community, guys, because this is what she's about, the community. So I definitely want you guys to understand, we're going to ask her some hard-hitting questions, and she's going to give us the hard-hitting facts. What we want to know from you is this. You've been trustee for 4 years. Have you seen things change in Robbins since you've been trustee?
Absolutely. A lot of things have changed since becoming trustee. I think that overall we've done a pretty good job with making sure that we're moving the village in the right direction as the board of trustees. You know, trustees are the ones that actually make the decision in regards to what we bring into the community, what we don't want to see in the community, etc.
Right.
So things have changed, but things could actually be much better.
Now, you've been trustee for 4 years. Before that, what were you doing?
Teaching. So I'm a Chicago public school teacher, and I taught diverse learners for 10 years. This is my 5th year as a Spanish teacher, and I teach on the south side of Chicago, empowering our youth over there.
Okay.
Before I did that, though, I was volunteering my time in multiple capacities as a coach, also offering language out here to our children through our park district, and also offering it to people in the community. Advocating for families, tutoring kids in the village, doing a whole lot.
The whole thing.
Yes.
You see, she's busy, guys. She's busy. She's been a part of the community for many years, but as you heard, she's a teacher, she's an educator, she's a community activist because she's out here right now, and she cares about this community. Now, you said that you're running for mayor. What made you want to run for mayor?
Well, there's several things that made me decide to run for mayor. So to be honest with you, I was teeter-tottering back and forth if this was what I really wanted to do. I prayed about it because I didn't want to just act in my own mind and say, you know what, you need to just do this. No, it was a process of prayer, and then there were things that were transpiring within the administration that I just did not agree with, and the people of Robbins deserve better.
That's right.
And so it came down to what God said. And he said, go forth, and that's what I'm doing.
That's what she's doing, guys. She's going forward. Now, as far as you were speaking with me earlier about people coming out to the meetings and things like that, if you become mayor, will you make sure that people come out?
I will. So we have text blasts that we usually utilize for water main breaks if there's some kind of, immediate emergency, if the weather is inclement or whatever. But we also need to empower our people through other avenues. Not everyone is on social media. Most people in the community are signed up for our text messaging system. And we need to encourage them to come out to be a part of the conversation. Because now that it's election season, everyone has something to say. However, we needed that same energy throughout the last 4 years of having people come out to the committee meetings, which is where the real robust discussions take place. By the time we get to an actual board meeting, we're taking an action. Yes, there may be some discussion, but most of the discussion has already happened. And so I would like for our citizens to feel empowered to come out and be a part of the conversation. So what I did as trustee, I would host monthly conversations with our citizens. No agenda, no sign-in sheets. I don't want any information. I just want to have a conversation with you. Get comments, suggestions, questions, whatever kind of feedback. I was down for it, and we would have either a coffee talk or a chit chat chew, depending on what time of the day it was held on. But I felt like engaging with the community is a must. You have to do it regularly. You have to do it frequently.
So you're saying grassroots.
Yes.
Grassroots style. Knocking on the doors, meeting with your families, sitting in the family homes, getting a chance to know them for real, instead of just being out here running for office.
Well, so this is two separate things. So I do have a grassroots campaign going, but outside of this, even now that I'm running, when I have my coffee talks or my chit chat too, we're not talking politics.
Okay.
So we're still focusing on the issues of the village at hand or the suggestions for right now, because I'm still serving as a trustee in my official capacity.
Right.
So I still want to continue to be consistent with what I've always done, which is listen to the people. They're our boss. Sometimes people forget that.
That's right.
The people are our boss, period.
Tell them. She's saying the people.
The people are our boss, period.
That's it.
All the residents need to clock that T, for real.
Right.
Because the citizens tell us what to do. When I sit there, I'm not sitting there in my own, capacity. I am mindful that I represent thousands of people and what would they want me to do. And that's how I roll.
Now, in the village of Robbins, how many people, what is the capacity of Robbins?
So the capacity is about 4,811, not quite 5,000, but that's just since the 2020 census. Since then, we've had new families move in from all over, right? But we have Hispanic families that have moved in, and we have quite a few Hispanic families that have moved in.
Okay.
And myself, I am a multilingual trustee, so I speak multiple languages.
That's great.
Spanish is my second most dominant language outside of English, and I love the fact that we have new family members that have become a part of the Village
and making
of
it
Robbins.
diverse, making it really diverse. Yeah.
Yes, as a community college trustee, I actually serve on a national diversity, equity, and inclusion team for the Association of Community College Trustees. And so diversity is important.
Very
Inclusion is important.
Very important.
Having a mayor that's bilingual, that can actually speak the language of the other people, super important. I was on the campaign trail, right on the street, and I met a family. They were not registered. We registered them, to vote and everything.
Right.
And they said, necesitamos a usted. That means we need you.
Right.
And at my church, I attend Our Nations Worship Assembly with Dr. Matthew Stevenson over on the east side.
Oh, it's in Robbins?
No, it's in Chicago.
In Chicago, okay.
And I was born and raised here in Robbins Church at Bethel AME, but in my adult life, I transferred over to All Nations Worship Assembly.
Okay.
And we call ourselves world changers. And we always say that we were born for a time such as this. And it used to sound so cliche because everybody is saying it, right?
Right.
But this is for real. I am a Black bilingual woman that can serve and communicate with all the people in our community.
And you need it. You need that. You need that diversity, but you also need someone who can speak it. She's how many languages?
Well, I know English and Spanish fluently. I studied Japanese for 5 years. I even went to Japan as an exchange student, and I know a little bit of Greek, Arabic, Polish, and Yoruba, which is a dialect of the Nigerian language.
Okay. Now, what I want to know, and I know what the people want to know, what are you looking to bring into Robbins that's going to make a change for Robbins?
Real prosperity. So we need economic development. That is going to be one of the real driving forces for our community. We have new housing development, but with the new housing development, we know that there are going to be families coming in, they're going to have children. We need to be able to have some of our own stores, a grocery store, so that we can stop spending our money in other communities, feeding their tax base, but we can actually grow our own. Economic development is going to be huge. And coupled with that is going to be the public safety component. So I'm currently the public safety chair. I chair 3 committees for the village. Public safety is one, and we have to make sure that our public safety is on point. Right now, we're lacking in the area of public safety.
So the police department?
Yes. And
Okay.
so at one point we had over 50 officers. That was with former Chief David Shepard.
Mhm.
And he was a part of this administration at one point.
Mhm.
But right now we're lacking in that area, and we know that when businesses come in, our public safety has to be tight and on point.
Right. And even when you have new residents coming in, they want to make sure that the safety in the community is one of the main reasons why you want them to come here with their kids and things like that, and at the school.
Yes.
So you want to make sure that the safety is here. So we're talking about stores, we're talking about the police department. What else in the neighborhood that you want to see change?
Well, not just in the neighborhood, but just within the village.
Within the village,
transparency. So when citizens are asking us questions, in regards to finances, what's going on within the village, I want to be able to provide them with that information, and not have them to wait. Some things we should automatically have available, such as finances, right? We all have the right to know what is going on, and as a trustee, I have mentioned this multiple times, I can't speak intelligently to the finances of the village and what's going on, and I want to be transparent. I want the people to ask me the tough questions, hold me accountable, right? And come out to the meetings, and together we will build a better Robbins. I also chair licensing ordinance, and what I mean by together we will build a better Robbins, I had a citizen that knew all about food trucks. He knew all about the sanitation laws. He provided me with the information. He came to a meeting and helped us to create a food truck ordinance, so that in the future, when food trucks come out, we have a law that dictates how they will operate, right?
Now, where would the food trucks be, though? Where would they be located when they come through the neighborhood? Or would they just be coming through the neighborhood?
No, they wouldn't be coming through the neighborhood. We do have designated locations, but when we have our fests and we have food trucks that are out there, we have to make sure that everybody is in, compliance.
Right.
Making sure that they have their sanitation license, make sure they have the proper refrigeration for whatever the product is, etc. So, the community is going to just change. It's going to change. We got to partner with the right people to make sure that it looks different.
So will you be reaching out to your partner neighborhoods, like you got Bixmore, will you be working more closely with them to bring the area up to another level?
Absolutely. So that's a great question. When Midlothian Police Department built their new police station, they actually invited me to come to their groundbreaking. I was one of two people of color from Robbins that was actually at the groundbreaking.
Okay.
And I was honored to be there, number one, because I wanted to know how did this all come about? I wanted to figure out, because they built that police station in no time.
Right.
It's a beautiful facility. Midlothian is a village just like Robbins.
Right.
So we do have some things in common, right? And I think it's important to learn what others are doing, especially if there is a need for you. So we have a need to have a new house for the police officers as well as the members of the fire department. So I work closely with most of the mayors that we are already, our boundary lines are connected with, as well as state officials and federal officials.
Now, one question I do want to ask, and this is something that's near and dear to my heart, bringing people to be able to have jobs. Will you be able to create jobs here in Robbins that people who actually live in Robbins, who don't have cars, who are walking, can get to those locations and things like that?
Yes, absolutely. And so that is one part of the economic development. Once we bring in grocery stores, we can be able to offer jobs to people in the community. Right now, we don't have any place for them to work.
Right.
Really, we have the village, and the village has done a pretty good job of hiring people within, the village limits. We call them employees, but it's going to go back to economic development.
Right.
And yes, when people want to come into our community, we will make it very clear that we want you to hire our people. We're not just saying you only have to hire Robbins, but a great majority of those employees most definitely should be from our community.
Now, what would be the land, what would be the area that you would think, if you wanted to build stores and things like that in Robbins, where would that be located at?
So right now, we really don't have a whole lot of commercial space. So I would be interested in looking at rezoning the village so that we could bring in more economic development. We do have the Kedzie corridor, but the Kedzie corridor is also a flood zone. So right now, businesses aren't going to go there.
Right,
you know, we have the MWRD flood mitigation, the stormwater project going on right now to help mitigate the flooding so that we can bring in businesses along that corridor. But until we rectify that situation, the availability is very limited. And then I would actually rely on my village planner and the planning and zoning team to help us figure out what would that look like. And again, that's inviting in the citizens, because it's not my vision. Okay, guys, you know, we're having a town hall forum. What do you want the community to look like? And I could take it a step further. We can even have within our comprehensive plan all of the stakeholders. So you're talking about the village, the residents, park district, library, all the schools systems. So that's 143, 143 and a half, 130, 218, Moraine Valley's Community College District, our state reps, our state senators, invite them to the conversation, because they are going to have resources that are going to help us build a better Robbins. We're talking about a grocery store. So Governor Pritzker, he has an initiative for communities that he considers to be food deserts, right? And so that would be something that we could benefit from right now, to help us bring a grocery store into our community.
So tell these people what to punch. Tell them how to punch. And tell them when to punch. Your name.
Well, they are going to be writing me in, and how you write me in. So guys, here's the deal. Early voting is now, and it goes until March the 31st. Early voting is Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Sunday from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. There are 3 locations where you can early vote. You can early vote at the Crestwood Civic Center, which is located at 13820 South Cicero. You can also early vote at the Alsup Village Hall, 4500 West 123rd Street. And you may also early vote at the Markham Courthouse, which is located at 16501 South Kedzie Parkway at the 6th District. And so when you go to early vote is touchscreen only. So in the mayoral column, you're going to click on write in candidate, and a keyword will appear. You're going to type my name, Tiffany Robinson, TIFFANY ROBINSON. You will submit, and you will make your other selections. Election day is next Tuesday, 1 week from today.
That's right.
And for election day, you could select paper ballot, or you could use the touchscreen. So for paper ballot, you're still going to go to the mayoral column. You're going to actually write my name in, Tiffany Robinson, and then you will fill in the oval to the right of my name. Touchscreen is still the same directions. It's pretty simple, but we are going to do this. So between now and next Tuesday at 7 p.m., because that's when the polls close, we need you out here in these streets, early voting and casting your vote. Tiffany Robinson as the next mayor for the Village of Robbins.
And as you've heard all the many things that she wants to do in the community. And I'm so proud of you that you actually, anytime someone takes the initiative to say, I'm going to make a change in the neighborhood, we all for that. We are all for that. And we want to make sure that we wish her the best of luck.
Thank you.
And what she's doing. We want you guys to come out here and vote. We want you to vote. Because guess what, guys? Without your vote, things will never change. And she knows that. She just spoke upon that. Now, I don't know if we want to go to other areas. We can definitely do that.
Yes.
And let's do that.
Let's do it.
We're going to move around. We want you guys to see her community. We want you to know she's very involved, and we're going to step around. We're going to get to another area. We're coming right back to you.
It's small things that make a community that we don't necessarily have that we definitely need. Keeping your dollars within your same community. And if you don't have anything to keep your money in your community, where's your money going? So I want to make sure that we support not only larger businesses, but small businesses as well too. Still part of your community, end of the day. And we have to have community buy-in. I think you need to have your churches buying in, meeting with everybody. When the business people have their meetings, we need to bring the churches in. You need to bring all these people in at the same time. They have the same type of conversations so that they can be interested in coming to your community to say, hey, I would love to invest in your community.
All right, guys, we back with you on the things. Miss Tiffany, I'm gonna say Trustee Tiffany Robinson has an A today. Yeah, keep it that way. We're here in front of the police department here in Robbins. This is one of the most important areas because this is where people come to communities, the safety of the community. Am I correct?
You're absolutely correct. Public safety is a must.
It's a must. And you wouldn't believe this. My family is the pastor of this church right now.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
They do a lot of community giveaways as well,
Yeah.
providing groceries to the community.
Right.
They have co-giveaways.
Mm-hmm.
They're one of the active churches.
Right.
We have a lot of churches in Robbins,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and they are one of the active churches.
So you know Willie, you know him very well.
I do.
Yeah, you just tell him that you were with his brother-in-law, one of the twins.
One of the twins.
That's all you got to
Okay.
say. All right, but yeah, we're here, guys, and she's looking to bring this neighborhood to a whole, village, to a whole nother level. And we're in front of the police station once again, and I'm happy to be with her because I'm seeing a lot from you. Are we going to get a lot from you, though?
Absolutely.
Tell us.
I don't get involved. If I don't get involved in anything that I'm not going all the way and hard for. And I have multiple arenas that I'm involved in. And when I'm in those arenas,
Mm-hmm.
they get the attention that it deserves.
Okay.
The village is something that, even as a sitting trustee, we don't have office hours. Citizens will reach out to you at any time of the day or night, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're standing here in front of the police station. We have to take care of the people that are outside, serving.
Right.
So when we say village,
Mm-hmm.
it's comprehensive.
Right. It's comprehensive.
It's comprehensive.
We're talking about the village of Robbins, and we also talking about building the village. That means all the people coming together, making sure that we got the right people in right places to make things happen in your community. She's mentioning that before you became the trustee, she was a teacher, she's an educator, she's an activist. Did you work? You used to work here. You tell them a little bit.
So, all of this, the Word of God tells us to think of it not strange. So, as a junior high student at Keller School, we just came from over in that New Homes neighborhood area. I was volunteering here, doing clerical work in the records department, filing papers away. The chief was Chief Johnny Holmes at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the police officers who is in another municipality, it was Detective Jones. He worked with the juvenile. I loved him.
Mm-hmm.
And I would come here and they gave me at an early age a skill set that I did not have.
Mm-hmm.
You know, most kids that are in junior high do not know how to type. They do not know the keyboard for real.
Right,
You know, it might be a little bit of like pecking here and there.
Right.
But I learned some valuable skills that will allow me to fully be an effective mayor for the village.
Now, are you looking to bring more youth programs into the village, or do you all currently have youth programs that are active that you see that you can do better?
So we have some, but there isn't really a whole lot of involvement. I would like to see more programming for all ages, not just the youth, from babies until the elderly, right? The seniors. There needs to be comprehensive programming. That's what keeps villages thriving. You know, people being involved. It's just like with school. When kids are involved, you do see a direct correlation with better grades because they're involved. They have something to work for, right?
Right.
So we do need more programming. I feel that we need to teach our children about government, basic government. You know, a lot of things I didn't know until I stepped into this arena.
Right.
And so having them to go down to Springfield for Lobby Day and to become the voice because they're the future, right?
Right.
So we're talking about programming, actual programming, but we need to program and condition our children to be taken over at the next level.
That's true. And that comes with the after-school programs, being involved and working with people like yourself because they're getting that energy from you and they're also seeing that they can do it too.
You know, so I'm glad you said that. So when I go to work, so I've evolved as a teacher. Obviously, you know, when you make a little bit more money, you can dress a little better, right?
Right.
So I feel that kids can be what they can't see. So when I go to work, I'm on point. They know that I'm from the hood too. That neighborhood that I teach in is a part of my life as well. I'm there. every single day. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's important that we dress the part, we look the part. That plays all into the next generation.
Right.
They need to see. They know I will TikTok with them. We just did the Kendrick Lamar dance, but I'm a cheerleader coach too at my school. I'm an assistant. I'm the assistant. The assistant.
Okay.
And we just did a video, and I'll share it with you. We did a video, and it was so cool, you know. And we were all matching. We had the same hoodies on.
Right.
It was really cool.
Mm.
You know, just invigorating the youth.
And it's also bringing up it's making them feel involved in the community and making them proud to be in the community when you do things like that. You're dressing them up. Is the name Robbins on there or what?
No, so I teach in the city.
Oh, you teach in the city.
So my school community is in Chicago.
Okay.
You know, but they're fired up for me to be the mayor too
of
the village.
Okay.
You know, they always say "Vota para señorita." They're always like, "Yay!" They're excited for me because they know what I will bring to the table.
Now, with you becoming the mayor, and you notice I said with you becoming the mayor.
Yes.
Will you still be teaching?
Yes, I will still be involved in education. Let's just say that.
Okay.
You know, our government here, we have our village administrator by ordinance oversees the day-to-day operations.
Okay.
So the mayor is in constant communication, and I will be with my village administrator, but they oversee the day-to-day operations and also oversee the departments that we have, and the department heads report to the village administrator, and she reports to the board of trustees and of course the mayor.
Now let me ask you this, and I never asked this question. We actually had someone on last week. Will you be changing out the people who work in the village, in the police department? Will you be making changes?
I will be doing a complete and thorough SWOT analysis of every department, and there will be some changes. You know, because like with any mayor, it's your chance to pick the people who you feel will be most effective in helping you to oversee and run the day-to-day operations of the village.
Right. So guys, you hear that? She's here for real. She's here to make changes, but she's made her make the right changes. Am I correct?
The right changes, because if it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you. This is a challenge. You know, we have 41% poverty. We need to make sure that we have people that can hit the ground rolling and that are committed to being coachable, you know, and that are committed to training, because we have to train to reign.
That's true.
And it's not just professional development at the local level. Let's send them to some statewide professional associations that are doing the same thing.
Most definitely.
And that allows them to be able to interact with other people that work in the same capacities that we do, that can connect them with resources. It's business, which equates to relationships. So we have to build the right relationships with the right people and make sure we have the right people that know how to build relationships, because some people just don't have it in them. They're not people's, they're not for the people, they're not people's persons, you know what I mean?
Right.
They don't really know. They do it because they have to out of obligation to whatever their title or position is. But we need people that are in it to win it and that love people for real.
They got to care.
They have to care.
I always say in my little thing, I say dare to care. You got to dare to care, guys. If you're going to come out and do something like Trustee Robinson is doing, you got to care about people.
You do.
And you have to care about where you at.
Not only that, when you care about people, it will show in your actions, in the way you talk to them, your disposition, your demeanor, how you embrace them, how you make them feel included. It's important, like everyone. It doesn't matter. I know that there was some people who didn't vote for me in 2021, but it didn't stop me from serving them.
That's right.
I'm a public servant leader.
Y'all heard that?
Leader. It didn't stop me. I still love them. Like, it doesn't change how I feel about them electing me. I had the most votes as a trustee. I know I could have ran as a trustee again and won easy. But I'm here to make a difference. This police station is a total and complete
rehaul over.
renovation, manicure, the basement, a pedicure.
Okay. Now, where would your office? Where would your office be?
So the Village Hall is next door. And it's still being renovated at the moment. You know, we've had some hiccups with receiving drawdowns from the state in regards to the grant that we did receive to complete the Village Hall. So it's kind of at a standstill. But we also have the fire department here that we need to change the living quarters for the members. The living quarters are not that great, and they sit there sometimes for 48 hours, 72 hours.
Right.
We need to make sure that we get these buildings in order. It adds to the morale of the members and the men and the women of the police department. And that's the least that we can do.
That's right.
When you come to work, my school building in Chicago is immaculate. It smells good. It's bright. It's vivid. My energy is always high, like every day.
Right.
The kids, the same thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Environment matters.
Right.
So we need to take care of this. And we can work with people, I feel, at the state level and the federal level to get some grants and some funding to build them some new houses.
Right. So what you guys are hearing and seeing today, that Trustee Robinson is so involved. She's caring about the people in the community, but she's also caring about the infrastructure of the community too. I mean, we're talking about the police station, we're talking about the village hall, we're talking about the civic centers, whatever you have in the community, she's looking to make sure that all of those things are taken care of and everybody is enjoying where they live. Am I correct?
Yes, you know what? In fact, when I first became a trustee, I went on ride-alongs with the police officers because I wanted to know what community policing was like. We have an idea of what police officers do, but it's different when you get to know their job and when you get to know them. And people that have been here for years, some for more than a decade, right? And we need to make sure that we take care of our people. That's a part of, we're paying them low wages, right? You don't want someone coming to a place where they're being paid low wages. The environment, is not aesthetically pleasing.
Right.
It all contributes to the morale. So we have to do what we have to do, and I believe that we can get it done. We can literally get it done. Our officers and the members of the fire department, they deserve better. Period.
I heard that.
They deserve better.
So tell them what to do to make sure that you're getting in and that you make these changes that they're hearing today on our screen and our podcast on the Dean's List.
So right now, early voting is going on until March the 31st, Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. On Sundays from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. So you have 3 places where you can go early vote. You can early vote at the Crestwood Civic Center, located at 13820 South Cicero, the Alsa Village Hall, 4500 West 123rd Street, or at the Markham Courthouse, located at 16501 South Kesey Parkway. When you go to early vote, it is touchscreen only. So you're going to go to the mayoral column. You're going to touch on write-in candidate. A keyboard will appear. You will type my name, Tiffany Robinson, Tiffany Robinson, and then you will submit that, make your other selections. And so April the 1st, you have a choice between paper ballot and touchscreen. So that 1 week from today, you will have the option to choose which one you would like to do for your voting. And for the paper ballot, you're going to still go to that column, and then you will actually write my name in, and you will fill in the oval to the right of my name, make your other selections, and submit your ballot.
All right, y'all heard that now. That's early voting started March 17th, and it goes up to when?
March the 31st. So you're gonna, with this pen, you guys are gonna remember to write me in. Write in Tiffany Robinson as the next mayor in the great Village of Robbins.
She said the great Village of Robbins. Y'all heard that, right? Now, are those pens gonna be available for them to actually write your name, or you're gonna have people out here that's gonna be working with you?
Yeah, so you know what? On the canvas, as I've been canvassing, we've been passing the pens out to everyone to help them to remember exactly what they need to do when they get to the polling place.
Okay. So where is your after the victory party going to be?
So my victory party is going to be at the Raffle House. The Raffle House is located at 4000 West 135th Street, right here on Pulaski. It's 135th on Pulaski. It's one of the new businesses that I voted for, and they have amazing wings. In fact, this Wednesday, tomorrow, for Wing Wednesday, all you can eat wings for $15. Comes with fries. They have an amazing seasoning that they have over there, and you can come hang out with me, ask questions. greet me, etc. And that is what we're going to be doing on tomorrow at the Raffle House Cafe.
Okay. Now,
Yes.
that's the only place they're going to be seeing you between now and the voting day?
No, so I also will be having a TikToking with the trustee with the kids at the Park District this spring break. So we're going to spend a little time with them,
Okay.
do a little bit of dancing,
Okay.
with the kids, turn up a little bit, give the parents a little break. And then on Saturday coming up, we'll be out still canvassing the streets and knocking on doors. I believe that you have to knock on doors.
Gotcha.
I'm sending out mailers, but it's not the same as actually someone meeting you in person.
Right.
So I'll be in these streets. That's where I will be from now until next Tuesday at 7 p.m.
I heard that. And it's a great time because you're on spring break.
Yes.
She got the time. She's knocking on doors. So remember that beautiful face. She's going to be at your door. She's going to be talking with you guys, about the things that she's going to be doing in the Village of Robbins. This is Trustee Robinson.
Yes.
Tiffany Robinson.
That's right.
You got that, guys? One more time, give them the information, how to vote for you, because we really want them to have that clear and be clear about that.
Yes. So early voting, as the Dean's List already alluded to, began March 17th, but it goes until March 31st. So you are going to go to one of 3 polling places between now and Saturday from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. or Sunday, this coming Sunday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. 3 locations: the Crestwood Civic Center that's located at 13820 South Cicero. You can also go to the Elsa Village Hall, 4500 West 123rd Street, or the Markham Courthouse, 16501 Kedzie Parkway. On April the 1st, 1 week from today, it's the actual voting day. You can go to any of the polling places in Robbins. So we have Turner School, which is on 135th Street. We have the Community Center, 13800 South Trumbull. And then we also have Keller Junior High or Keller Middle School, where voting will take place as well. So
She did a great job, guys. I'm gonna tell you, she did a great job on this interview, but she's also gonna do a great job as a mayor. I can tell that. And I want to thank you for actually having us come out. They gave me a call, I came running. She got an 80 day, guys, and she's keeping it that way. She's on the Dean's List. You guys been on the Dean's List. We want you guys to subscribe to our show. You're gonna see her on the show. We're gonna be running this all week. We want you to win.
yes, and I will win. And that's why it's important that you guys get out to vote, whether it's early or on April the 1st. I'm encouraging everyone to go early vote so we can lock it down now. All right, so let's do this.
Let's do it.
Robinson for Robbins.
Robinson for Robbins. And hey, guess what? We coming to the party.
Yes, yes. And they are most invited.
The
for
Dean's
real.
List is going to be in the house, guys. So you guys make sure you show up and get that A, because she's going to make that way for you guys. She's going to make this a better village. She's going to make it a better community. She's going to make it a safe community. She's going to make you guys want to bring more people into the community. So
Yes.
get ready for the next 4 years for Trustee Robinson, for Mayor of Robbins, guys. We're right here in front of an area that she's going to be controlling. She's going to be serving and protecting from her seat, but she's going to also make sure that they're doing the same thing by getting them the help, getting the fire department the help that they need, getting every area in this village the help that they need is what she spoke about today, and we're very proud of her. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You are welcome. Thank you.
Thank
You've been
you.
on the Dean's List, guys. Stay blessed. We're going to see this real soon. It's going to run all this week. We got you.
Thank you.
We got you.
I appreciate
Okay,
it. Yes,
okay.
I appreciate it.
All right, man. Peace out. You've been on the Dean's List. Love you.
If you're looking for funding from $10,000 to $400,000 with a business startup, working capital, real estate investing, franchise, or stock investing, and have a 650 credit score with an annual income of $30,000 a year, contact DNA Loan Services at 708-888-1460. There's no upfront cost, no out-of-pocket expense. We have a 99% approval rate. So call now, 708-888-1460.